The time we regained our freedom, end of July, last July, about 5.5 months ago. Immediately we came out, we issued a statement which my son signed on behalf of myself and the family, thanking different categories of people who in one way or another help us in regaining our freedom. One of those categories worth mentioning was the press, journalists. We thank them very much for all their endeavors. They have been with us all through. They have undergone a lot of tribulations, and in fact, one of them was killed in action, July 2019. In front of this Federal Secretariat. So we thank them very much for standing by us. And when we came out, I did not immediately give chance to journalists for long, because we were hoping at that time it will take little time before we actually were allowed to go out for medical attention. That's what we were hoping, because all of us came out with health issues. My wife and myself, we still have fragments of bullets in our body. My wife has full bullet, which they have been unable to remove here, and they said that they could not remove it. But experts from outside promised that they can do that. In addition to that, for the past 5 years, and even since July 2016, she has been chair bounded. She could only walk using wheelchair, and she prayed while sitting on a chair. And they know that very well. She needed knee replacement. Which of course in this country, if they make the knee replacement, the patient will take about 3 months before he walks. Somewhere else it may take less than a week. Probably after 3 days he can be able to walk. Now myself, I have fragments of bullets which scattered all over the body, and they are secreting poison. Lead poison and cadmium poison and other poisons, and it with the recommendation from doctors here, including government-owned doctors, we need what they call chelation therapy, which will remove the poison and parts of all, but the fragments also have to be removed, which they said here they cannot remove those fragments because they are tiny fragments moving around the body. All right. So we were hoping at that time it was a matter of a week or so, we will be chance to get out for our medication. But up to now, they have not allowed us to do that. And of course, after about 2 months or so, I had my first interview with the press TV, but directly through Skype. Was the headquarters in Tehran, which was aired. And of course, there are so many press releases which our people have been releasing from time to time, giving you update about our issue of our passports, our health, and so on. And you have worked very well. Thank you very much for airing all this and publicizing it, both print and electronic media. They have all circulated all those things. So I have to apologize for not giving you this chance at the very beginning, But I learned that somewhere urgent. Why is it that they have been given all this support? They have not seen this man. You are fortunate to see me. Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much. Now, this is an occasion in which we remember the Zaria massacre, which happened 6 years ago exactly. It started on 12th of December, 12, 13, and 14th of September. 3 days consecutively, the soldiers in the Nigerian army have cordoned Zaria town, including all the roads leading to the town. And they carried out systematic killing of people they consider unwanted. Whatever name they gave us. At that time, they are saying they are clearing people they call Shiites. In fact, in Gelesu, they were asking whoever they want to shoot, they say, is he Shia? And the crowd will say yes, and then they will fire. And then if the crowd will say no, they will allow them to go. So they clearly they were saying they were destroying Shia once and for all. All right. On 14th of the same month, they reached me and they opened fire on us, myself and my family, instantly killing 3 of my sons in front of me and injuring both my wife and myself and some others who were with us. Well, luckily enough, for the wisdom of God, we don't know why, but He so designed that my wife and myself will survive, because the shooting was the shooting that nobody can survive it, but God willing. Well, God is able to do anything He wishes. So on 15th of the same month, exactly a day like this, they brought us to Abuja. First to the military hospital, then they took us to later on the same day. Because it was around 12 midnight, is it? After 12 midnight, that would be 16th of December. They took us, they changed the hospital from military hospital to DSS hospital, where we remained for some time. And then they kept us in their custody here for some years. And then they took us back to Kaduna. We are still in their custody. Finally, they took us to prison. And, as you all know, in the end of the day, the court found ourselves innocent, and discharged and acquitted us. In the same way, they have discharged and acquitted different courts, about 3 different courts. They have discharged and acquitted so many others who were arraigned before them with the same similar charges. Now, I find that up till today, if I am reading some newspapers, they will say Zakzaky and his wife were arrested following a clash between his people or his followers and the Nigerian army, when his people block the road for on the day that the chief officer was passing out. Now, this matter was taken to court. They have accused some people of blocking the road, all right, and including ourselves. They say we instigated the blockage, and then about 153 others were all arraigned before different courts for the same charge, blocking the road, causing this and that, about 8-count charge, including murder of a soldier. And this court, the past court, which gave its verdict on sometimes in July 2018, it did not only say that those arraigned before 77 of them. The court did not only say that these people who did not commit the crime, but they said the crime was not even committed. This is very important. No blockage of road whatsoever. Nobody blocked anybody's road, and nobody killed anybody. The army cordoned everywhere and killed everybody they could find. Not even if you are whatever you may be, because of near a place we call Husseiniya is a center, Islamic center. There's a union, this Unity Bank, and this they consider Shiites wearing, they think they wear black clothes, and because the uniform of workers of that bank they wear black, they shoot all of them. All right. And also it's about 3 kilometers away from the area where they say the road was blocked. That's where my house is situated. I don't know whether my house also block the road for the chief of staff. They went and cordon the and kill everybody they could find, including our neighbors. Some students of Congo campus of Ahmadu Bello University, a lot of them were killed. Some people, students of FC, Federal College of Education, which is our neighborhood also, a lot of them were killed. Some of them even not Muslims, Christians. They killed everybody they could find. All right. And then they said the court, it's very important, the court, the first court said that the road was not blocked. Nobody blocked anybody or any road. The second court gives similar verdict, and the third court, if you get the verdict on, in fact they brought my speech, part of my speech, in which they said I instigated the blockage of road, and it was clear what I was saying, that if the soldiers come to attack us in our territory, don't block their road. That was very clear. And the judge even continued to mention this. But where is the blockage of the road here? So nobody blocked anybody's road. Simple, they could not say why did they attack. It was very clear that it was planned attack in order to destroy all of us. And they have even said it earlier, and you can hear in some of my speeches earlier, they said we have learned that these people are planning what they call all-out war, in which they will clear all people they call Shia once and for all. And another thing which I have to clear very much is the idea of calling us IMN. It's with abbreviation, Islamic Movement. I'm calling myself leader of Islamic Movement of Nigeria or in Nigeria. I know we use the word Islamic Movement, but to our understanding, Islamic Movement is not a name. It is an idea, like Islamic awareness, Islamic ideology, Islamic education, Islamic philosophy. It's a sort of concept. We never use it as a name. And there is nothing like members of Islamic movement. They don't exist. They are only activists. Activists, not members. We don't have membership card. Right? You don't register to become part of it. Once you are active, you are just active. That's all. It's open for all Muslims, not only Muslims. It is open even to non-Muslims. You may know that, maybe you don't know. There is Christian forum of the Islamic movement. Among the fora we have many forums. We have academic. We have many fora. We have academic forum, sisters forum. Remind me, so many forums, media forum, so many forums. Plural forum is called fora in English. We have so many fora. But one of these fora is the Christian forum of the Islamic movement under the leadership of Pastor Yohana Buru. So it's a sort of an idea which everyone can belong to. The idea is movement is you are moving towards a change. The reason we call it Islamic is because we agree to give our lives to do it because it is the teaching of Islam. That's all. According to the teaching of Islam, you are supposed to do everything for the sake of your creator. So whoever identifies himself with the idea is part of the movement. All right? Not members. And similarly, the Islamic movement does not own a single property, movable or unmovable. There is no building which belongs to the Islamic movement. It doesn't. All the buildings are either private property or property according to religious institutions. We have what we call in our own in the Shia. They have what they believe that there is they have a leader of every time, and that leader has can own some property, and the property belongs to me. Only Shia can know this. It is it is due for every Shia man to give 1 piece of whatever booty he gets, all right, to the Imam of his time. And some people are given the custody to collect and manage this. Okay, so it is religious, not belonging to a movement. When they attacked us, they call us Shiites. You know, they continue to give us different names. In early 70s, in late 70s rather, late 70s, from 77 to 79, they were calling us students, because then we were students. In the early 80s, they were still calling us students. Even 1980s, they were calling us students. Then 1982, they changed our name. They start calling us Shiites, with different spelling. Sometimes and different spelling and pronunciation. Sometimes they say Shiites, whatever that means. I know the last time we were in court before this time, it was the Abacha time. I was asked in the court, like, are you not leader of Shiites? I said, what is Shiites? Is it tea or coffee? I was asking. Then the journalists, some newspapers come. Zakzaky denies Shiites. You said he was on Shiites. So I don't know what is Shiites. What is this Shiites? All right. So they continue to call us this Shiite up to the time they attack us in 2015. Now it is down to them that there is a section within Islam called Shia, and they have made a mistake of attacking religious group. So they now change the name. They say we are IMN. So they coined the name. The name we have never called ourselves. They now decided to say we are an organization called IMN, and then they say they ban that Islam, that IMN. I don't know whether in the Constitution of Nigeria, courts are supposed to make law. What I know is courts is not law making. It interprets the law. The 3 arms of the government. You have the executive arm, the legislative arm, and the judiciary, which interprets. Now, instead of taking this government, instead of taking the matter to the assembly to debate whether they can ban a movement or not, they wrote the law and gave it a court. The court put a stamp, and they said they have banned the Islam movement. We said this, you have to understand. They say proscribe. You have to understand that the Islamic movement is unbannable, is unprescribable. It cannot be prescribed. It is impossible to prescribe it. It is an idea. It is like you are saying that you don't allow them to practice their religion. You don't allow them within their heart to believe in what they believe in. You can't prevent me from believing what I believe. No way. Islamic movement does not own a property. We don't have any property. All the properties they destroyed were either religious property or personal property. Like my house, I don't know what about my house, which is burned into ashes, and even the house which I buried my mother inside the city. They want to destroy it. They just even our horses, cows, and sheep. They all killed, even though they have eaten all those, including one camel. They after shooting them, they become meat. I don't know whether they ate our horses also. Maybe they just killed the horses, but they ate the camels and the cows. So I don't know. These are not property of any institution. It belongs to myself. They are my own personal property. All right. Get it very well. Islamic movement is a concept. It is an idea. It is ideology. Whoever is making a move to see Islam restored to its glory is part of Islamic movement, whether he calls himself Islamic movement or not. And Islamic one has no members. It has only active people, so activists, not members. All right. Hopefully, I explained this. Now, I will give you a chance to ask questions, but please limit your questions to the very incident. It's very important. I know you journalists, you are thirsty to ask about so many other things, particularly political. I'm not interested in that. Remember, we have been wronged. No. Here is you have a family which has lost its members. Remember, 6 of our sons were killed, and our brothers and sisters were also killed. So all property destroyed. So we have no time to think of, the political issues that are going on. Is our own concern is what happened to us and how we get the way out, inshallah. Thank you very much. MashaAllah.
Sir, I would like you to explain to us how devastating the Zaria massacre was to the Islamic movement, and maybe while doing that also personally to you and your family and other members. There are so many other members. So that is my first question, and then the second question has to do with an update, kind of. If you have a strong medical condition, medical situation, and you need to go out to get back your health, what is the update? Why are you still here? So just 2 questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Of course, they have done a lot of damage to us. They have targeted some particular individuals for killing. There are youths who constitute a sort of group we call Abul Fadl Abbas unit. And it constitutes of youths of 10 and 20 ages. 100% of them students, mostly of universities, either undergraduate, some of them postgraduate, pursuing their masters. All of them were students of university. All of them, 100% of them, were all students. They targeted a lot of them. They have a list of them whom they wanted to murder because they think that the future will be of these boys. Some of them are pursuing their courses outside the country, including my sons. When they came for holiday, they were 2 of them were studying in China. One was in Lebanon. They came all for holiday. They were all murdered. All right. The idea is they want to kill the future. They wanted to kill the future so that there will be no future. They think that they have some potentialities. Some of them are very intelligent, and they pursue some courses, like my son who is studying chemical engineering and has got green paper, green card, and also the other is aeronautical engineering, and one of the best universities of aeronautical engineering is Genius. They murdered all. They have a list of those youths, men and women among them, boys and girls rather. They murdered almost all of them. Only about how many survivors? About 8 also, and there were many. So they have done a lot of damage. And among those they killed also were some doctors, medical doctors. And because we are running a kind of hospital in that Husseiniya, it's a center. They murdered all the patients and all the nurses and all the doctors. This was untold. And the destruction was terrible, sometimes I don't want to mention smaller things like I was talking to you on how they were even shooting horses. These are just little things. But if they murder human beings, about about 1,000, over 1,000 people were murdered in 3 days, and they all carried all their bodies and dumped them in different mass graves. They didn't consider the right of anyone. I was saying, and if a man has a right, even a dead person has a right to be buried according to his religious belief. But these people took upon themselves to take all the bodies and some of them they burned them while they were burying them with chemicals, food chemicals. So they have done a lot of atrocities beyond thinking, something which has never happened in the history of this country. So I was saying in my speech on that today, which yesterday, that I have never seen a war, if it is war, without cause. There has to be, first of all, something is boiling, hatred, and so on. In the end of the day, it results in a quarrel. This is not war; it is massacre. You cover some people who are innocent, harmless, and then you murder them. And after all this, they could not say why. Why did they say blockages of the road? What a shameful thing! What a shameful thing! Assuming the road was blocked, as they said, should they do? Should they murder the people who block the road? All right. And what about all our different places they had attacked? The people who are coming into Zaria. Do you know that who came from who come from Katsina? If they spot people whom they consider as part of us, like our sisters normally wear black hijab. If they see one of them, they will now pour petrol on the bus and burn all of it, including the driver and condenser. They burned so many buses and took the bodies and to Basawa, Army Battalion, and they were calling them roasted meat. Similarly, the road to Kano, if you know, there was an Nur mosque along the road. From that road, they murdered a lot. Similarly, the road from Sokoto, from Jos, from Kaduna, and from Birnungwari, all the roads leading to Zaria, they were there, And from Kaduna to Zaria, even around Birniro and Jaji, whoever they spotted looking like what they consider Shia, you may be unfortunate that day to be wearing black garment and would be dead. All right. What they didn't know that day was not a day of wearing black. It was the day of wearing white. So all the brothers none of them wore black colors. All right, because it was not a day of mourning at that time. But our sisters, whether it is mourning or no mourning, it is they always dress in black. All right, so they have done a lot of damage, but this has, in a way, their own intention was to destroy the movement. But in one way, they boosted the movement. All right, they boosted it, and it became an international issue. People who didn't know what is the movement, what are they calling for, who are they? They started to know, and not only in this country and beyond. This how there have been demonstrations demanding for our release all over the world. You remember those people who stage will this sit out? It is called sit in or sit out? I don't know. They are sitting in front of the Nigerian embassy in London for 52 days, and it was rainy season. They are tolerating the rain for 24 hours for 52 days. And then when we were in India, I phoned. I said I thank them, they can go back. And then they were coming from different areas from Europe. And there were so many demonstrations in India They said that in one day there was a demonstration in about 55 different towns in India in one day, to the extent that the Prime Minister of India was asking, what about this? Really that Zakzaky? He was thinking that Zakzaky was an Indian man. Which state is detaining him? Province rather. Which province? He was told it was not in India after all. It was somewhere in Africa. See how the issue become, they internationalize the issue, and also they added our supporters, and they have also seen one thing. And what I normally say, if anybody says the Nigerian people, whatever you do to them, they just sit down and keep quiet. If you say so, someone will say, but not activists in the Islamic movement, because these people did not keep quiet. And they can never think that they can do anything and simply we will keep quiet. We will never keep quiet. And the movement can never be proscribed or destroyed or crushed. We are uncrushable. Thank God, this is what they did a lot of havoc, but it helped us in the way they don't expect. Now, I hope I've answered your first question. The second, we were thinking that immediately we come out, we will be able to get out for our medical attention. But we needed our passports. Our house were destroyed, including our own passports. When the court gave the order that we have the right to be seen by our own doctors, we can even bring doctors from outside to see us. We invited some doctors from outside. All right. Also, the court a different court gave another ruling that we have the right to go outside for medical attention, even while in detention. We choose to go to India. It was our own choice. We chose an hospital because 3 of the doctors who came from outside to see us were from India, and they recommended us to go there. And it was arranged that those doctors will be part of the team which will see to our medication. All right. At that time, we needed a passport. You know that we did not go to passport office to request for the same authority. They were in their hand. The DSS instructed the immigration to retrieve our passports. So they retrieved all the pictures and signatures and everything of the former passport and made two brand new ones without us going for capture. Because all the details were there, the thumbprint do not change. Even pictures they will not change, signature don't change. So everything, all the information is the same. So they retrieved the old passport and made the new ones for us. And then when we came back, they decided to bring us back without medication. All right, because it appears going to India, maybe you may read an account written by my wife about our trip to India and what happened. She has written an article about it, giving all the details of what happened. So they have the passports with them. They didn't give us the passports when we came back. When we were released, we went for the passport to the DSS. The DSS said that the passport were in the hands of NIA. The NIA now said, okay, we have to write. We wrote. They said we have to do so many others. They can continue to do this. And finally, they said that they don't have the passport, meaning the passport has been lost. So since it is lost, you know the process. You have to declare passport. We don't even need to do that because they retrieve the old passport. They can retrieve new ones. All the same, we went we make the report to the police of the loss of passport, and we swore an affidavit in the court of law that the passport had been sold with. Collected all the documents that were necessary and submitted for issuance of a new passport. And up till now, they have not issued us the new passport. So what he is holding us is a lack of passport because we cannot travel outside without passport, and our passports have not been given back to us. We have taken the DSS and the And the Attorney General and the DSS to court over the seizure of our passport. The matter is in the court now. But in their own response, the DSS, which placed a red flag on the passports, now denied placing any red flag, and they have written. It appears that they have removed, officially removed the flag, and then they said they have never placed the red flag. Good enough. So it means the immigration can issue a new one, isn't it? So the immigration has not issued a new one. So we are thinking that in the next sitting of the court, we will find and we will join the immigration in the same case. In the same case, DSS, Attorney General, and the immigration. We are going to take them to court also. Well, meanwhile, we live with the issues. Imagine somebody with fragments of bullet in his body, and that fragment of bullet is secreting poison, and that poison is dangerous. And then we are just living with it like that. I managed to take some traditional medicine which can prevent the circulation of that poison in the blood. That's all. Well, we are still hopeful. We didn't lose hope, but it appears that, the process, which shouldn't take even a week, has taken us up all these months. So that's it. Simply put it, the reason why we are not out is because they have not allowed us to have our passports.
Health-wise, as you are sitting, how are you feeling? General health.
Well, we are managing. Generally, we are managing, actually. I don't want to talk much about my suffering, because sometimes I get to understand that the enemies get happy when they hear that we are suffering. So sometimes I even pretend, particularly when we are in prison, I try to walk briskly so that these people will say, oh, he's healthy. Hey, so look at him, and it hurts them because they won't see me die. So I don't want to much. All I know is I am suffering from wounds within my body, which require professional attention, which actually they cannot be done here. They admitted these tiny fragments, they cannot remove them. All right? The chelation therapy to remove the poison may be easy, but removing the tiny pyrus, will be difficult. All right? And particularly when some of them have gone even under the brain. Some of them are on the skull. It's very difficult, sensitive thing to do. So we are managing, inshallah. We are just managing the way. See my is chair bound for 5 years. Imagine working on a wheelchair. She's working with electronic wheelchair. All right. For here, it's possible because there's no lift. She has to climb using the help of someone near her to climb to the upstairs. But in the upstairs, moving from one place, so she has to use wheelchair. Even going to toilet from bed, she has to use wheelchair. So we are managing life, that is all. Thank God Almighty, who kept us alive.
Still, on this issue, about your illegal detention and all this work, there was a time that the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, raised a very serious controversy that he mentions some millions of naira to feed you. I think this is an opportunity for you to actually dispel that allegation. So what was it like?
Yeah, thank you very much for asking this question. I don't know what should be exclusive, but anyway, since you insist that it is exclusive, actually, we have not opportunity to say what was the real story while we're in detention. because the people who are detaining us will make things difficult for us. The real truth is, all through our detention, we have been feeding ourselves. Since the time we reached Kaduna, up to the time we were released, nobody bought us a single bottle of water. We are feeding ourselves. Even when I was saying in Abuja, we were feeding ourselves. But we could not say, because we were feeding ourselves also illegally. Because legally they are supposed to feed us. All right? But they don't want anybody to hear that we are feeding ourselves. We actually fed ourselves all the years, 5 years, 7 months, we were in detention. Throughout, we were feeding ourselves. Nobody gave us a bottle of water.
So how did Lai Mohammed get that?
Okay, but yeah, even light, we are paying for electricity bill while in our own detention. We are paying for electricity and water. We are paying also for fuel for the generator. Even we bought our own generator. In Abuja here, in detention, we bought our own generator. And we are buying our own fuel.
So how did he get the information?
I don't, even though his name is Lai. But actually he was not lying. The DSS told him so. They told it, but what I learned, that what were taken out from FIR, Federal Inland Revenue, was about 4 million every month for our feeding. So those money were going to their own pockets. Not a single kobo has gone to us. So it will, even though his name is Lai, but maybe it is true they were taking the money, but they were not feeding us. It is Lai that they were feeding us with those money. He said 3.5 million, that's what they called him, but FIR, from one source I had learned that it was 4 million every month. And similarly, even when they harass people, whenever our court case was taking place, they harass people of Kaduna. Even though most of the time we are not even going to the court. They were saying they are giving protection. Although they are removing a lot of amount of money, they are saying they are giving protection to whom I don't know, they are protecting themselves.
Okay. So, now let's look at this issue this way. Some people are arguing that, you and President Buhari has personal issues. Is it true?
I don't know whether that personal issue, why it was. Maybe Buhari should be asked. But I don't know. All I know is that there's nothing like personal issue. Maybe he was given as a condition for being in office. But I know Buhari may not say, because you have never seen Buhari and talk to him like that. And you will never, maybe, because he doesn't speak. He only read by putting his finger. All right.
With the way this thing is going now, do you believe that you will get justice from the courts? Because they say the judiciary is the last hope of the common man.
Well, whatever is we get, we are trying to prove one case for the general public to know. All right, for people to know. That's why sometimes we take our matter to court. The first time we took them to court, we were able to win. The Justice Gabriel Kolawole, who ruled that our detention was illegal and we should be released unconditionally, and compensation should be paid to us, and a house should be provided for us in a place of our choice. All this they have not obeyed the court order. But all of them, this is a case in our favor and against them. All right. Similarly, this case of discharge and acquittal of our people, including my wife and myself, all our case in our favor and against them. All right. It all goes to prove that what they did was not right. All right. So even if they did not, in the end of the day, provide us passport to travel, we will make our case known that we have asked for our right and it was denied. That's all.
Have you taken this matter beyond the shores of Nigeria, maybe to the international community?
Yeah, well, through pressure, there have been pressure from different international groups, the ECOWAS, the EU, international human rights organizations. They have all spoken, but to no avail.
Now, when you recall the circumstances of your children that were killed and some of your followers, what really comes to your mind as a father?
Well, you know this. When you take to the road, this is a fast. You know that there's bound to be some tribulations along the road. So myself and the people who are with me, we all take it as a sort of test, and we hope by the grace of God we will pass the test.
Now, you have told the world that your organization is unbannable, unprescribable, and all that. And this is a government that people say is no respecter of laws, the Constitution. Thereafter, do you feel safe in this? What is going on? Do you feel safe?
Well, you have mixed the thing up.
Okay.
Just say, do you feel safe? First of all, I have to say we don't have organization. We are saying that this is an idea. You cannot say you have prescribed an idea. Like if you say Islamic awareness, you cannot say I have banned awareness. If you owe Islamic religion or Islamic education or Islamic ideology, you cannot ban this. So Islamic movement is like an ideology. You cannot ban it. You cannot prescribe it because it is in the heart of the people. You cannot remove it from the heart of the people. So it is not removable. Even if you say, for example, if somebody make a law and say he has banned religion, will it be banned? Because it's in the heart of the people. Or he say, if he's so specific, he say he bans Christianity. So people should Christians should cease to be Christians? No, they will still be Christians if he ban Christianity, because it's in their own heart. That's what we are saying. And this issue of safety, I don't think anybody in this country is feeling safe today, including yourself, either along the road or at home. Nobody is feeling safe, you know. So we only depend on God's protection. That's all.
Do you see that whatever is going on, especially, do you see it as political, especially what government is doing, your persecution, your tribulation? Do you see that there may be some material motives just for some political reasons?
Well, I know those people who in authority, you should have asked them, not to myself. All I know is, as an activist, I have a path in which I am following. I know that there has to be some tests, so I have to continue. But those, for whatever reason, they are doing what they are doing. What we are saying, our challenge to them is, let all of us do what we can. Let them continue the way they are doing. If they think it will, if they think they will succeed in so doing, and we will never also stop doing what we are doing. I think you have taken more than 5 minutes.
It's my pleasure, sir.
Thank you. And that's okay. This is I've said it in my address, and yeah, we can. Thank you very much.